Woohoo! Look, see, it's the guy in the Ferrari. Yes, yes, I know. It's still the guy in the van, but it's the guy in the Ferrari as well. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a Monday. It was a holiday for lots, so there's no mail, no bank, no garbage service, any of that stuff. But, people worked, so it was a holiday. I don't know what holiday it is. I'm not sure. I couldn't get a clear answer from anybody on what the exact holiday is these days. So it was just a holiday. We'll leave it at that. So I had an interesting day. I guess I'm never shocked, but always amused at people. So I went to get food today. I went to a fast food restaurant, we'll call it. Okay. And I normally walk to it I was at the radio station building for the auction, which I'll have the URL tomorrow. It's Paul Delphi, like auctions by Delphi, something like that. But I'll get it posted. I'll put it on this thing and I'll put it everywhere so you can find the stuff. Bigger and Bar Station stuff. Um, Normally I walk, but I was lazy, so I drove to the sandwich shop. And I ordered just a simple sandwich and a bottle of water and a pickle. Now the sandwich is like $9, nine something, I guess, and like a bottle of water is $1.99. The pickle's $1.99, and the bill came out to be $12.79. Okay, I was like, how much? 12.79. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. I didn't have the receipt, so I was just like, but I was like, it seems off. Anyway, so now I had 3 singles and a 20. So instead of getting more singles, I gave him the 20 and the 3 singles. And he, closed the window and then comes back and he's like, you gave me too much money. I'm like, no, I gave you $23. So basically it's $13. So just give me a 10 back in the change. So he closes the window again and he proceeds to give me back my $10. And I'm like, okay, well, I still need my change, thinking. So he was worried about cup, but he hands me the change. Now, $12.79. Do you do the math? Okay. 1 penny makes it 80 cents. So it'll be 21 cents, right? He gives me 35 cents back. I'm like, doesn't the register tell you how much the change is? I'm just curious. So I was like, you gave me too much change. Well, you said it was just a 10. I'm like, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I look at the receipt and then realize that he gave me the pickle for free as I drive away. I'm like, and the wrong change. I was like, okay, that was just too strange of a interaction. Because like it just was. So that was that. And then the gas station was the same way. I went to go to the gas station and I wanted to get something to eat earlier. Actually, I was getting a coffee, and there's 2 guys in front of me. I don't know. They were construction guys, and he brought like a slice of pizza and a fountain soda. And the woman says, if you get 2 slices, you get a Pepsi, and it's this price. He's like, oh, okay. So people are lining up behind. So he goes and gets the pizza. Now, the other guy's like, he's like, hey, get your soda and hurry up back. So he comes back. No, she tells him it's a bottled soda. He's got his draft soda. So he comes back and they're like, well, did you get a second slice? Well, yeah. Well, you also get a soda. He goes, well, I got my soda. Well, it's not the fountain soda. It's a bottled soda. So he goes back and she's just standing there. I'm like, could I just get my coffee? And like people are backing up and the guy's like taking his time. He's over there checking. Let's see if I want a Pepsi or a Diet Pepsi or I want a Mountain Dew. I want a Coke. And I'm just like, I was like, okay, this is just getting ridiculous. So I was like, here. I was like, what's it, like two something? Here's $3. And I just left it. I left them the change since I was like, I already had the whole, lunchtime fiasco. I was like, the change thing is just off today. So I have change in my pocket, which I never have. So I've actually have coin change in my pocket. And it was just a change fiasco today. So there you go. That was my weird change story today. Money. Who knew? Anyway, all right. So, episode 135, October the 13th. Happy birthday to my sister. I wished her happy birthday last night, but it wasn't officially. Today is, in fact, Gentober. Anyway, the Beatles appear on ITV Sunday night at the London Palladium. This is an ongoing show. They get top billing, and it's live in front of 15 million viewers. They played the song Twist and Shout, She Loves You, I'll Get You, and From Me to You. At this occasion, at the London Palladium, the term Beatlemania is coined. So that's where it came from. From that performance on October the 13th, 1963, Beatlemania is coined that evening. And I found multiple sources that said that's where it came from. So that is where it came from. If you find out otherwise, let me know. 1966, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. The rock trio debuts with American guitarist Jimi Hendrix, British bassist Noel Redding, and British drummer Mitch Mitchell. They play at Normandy, France. I didn't know how to say that. It was like Evrieux, something of that nature, I'm sure. Normandy, France. I can say Normandy, France. I don't know French. Sorry. 1975, John Denver, who we talked about the other night, wins the 9th Country Music Awards. Mr. John Denver. That guy. 1975, Neil Young undergoes third surgery. I didn't look into her. I was just like, that's enough. It seemed like, okay, what happens? Musicians have things happen too. 78, Billy Joel's 52nd Street is released, winning a Grammy for the best album of the year for 1979. I think I said it the other night. I was like, wait, did I say it the other night that it was released? Maybe it was premiered. I think there's premieres and releases. If it's premiered, it's just sort of like, out in a special occasion. And then when it's released, it's public. We used to have very specific release dates for albums. It used to be like Tuesdays, which is New Music Day, because that's when we were allowed to release them. Like Tuesdays and Fridays, I think. So that's when we would get them ahead of time. We could have them, but we couldn't play them. We couldn't premiere them. We couldn't release them. We couldn't sneak them. Couldn't do any of that stuff. We'd get in trouble. If we did, we'd get our wrists slapped by the record company, and then they would deny us the ability to get music at another time, so they could get very persnickety about that kind of stuff. Who's texting me at this time of night? Oh, do some more of the French. Bonsoir. I'll get there. 2016, Bob Dylan, the singer Bob Dylan, is awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Who knew? I did not know that. He's the first songwriter to ever receive it. The 75-year-old Dylan basically won it for creating poetic expression within song. So the rock legend Bob Dylan gets the Nobel Peace Prize. Man, people really want to get that. 2021, Captain James T. Kirk actually goes to outer space. That is correct. William Shatner flies into outer space and spends 10 minutes traveling on the Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. Shatner becomes the oldest living human being ever to be in outer space. At the age of 90, Shatner flies into outer space. He's 94 now and still kicking. Gotta love that Canadian water. Either that or, his Star Trek Fountain of Youth episode, making him young. I don't know. 1965, the band The Who record My Generation in London. When it's released as a single, it's reached number 2 in the UK. Number 1 went to the band The Seekers. The Carnival Is Over, said lead singer Roger Daltrey. I stuttered the lyrics to try to fit them into the music. The BBC initially refused to play the song because they said they did not want to offend people who stuttered. Yeah, I mean, they thought it was done intentionally as a slight when it was not. He tried to meet the music. Just saying. 1970, Janis Joplin passed away just a few days before. Found dead on the floor of her hotel, the Landmark Hotel in Hollywood, California, of an apparent OD, heroin. Her ashes were scattered on Stinson Beach in Marin County, California. The official cause of death was, in fact, heroin overdose, possibly combined with alcohol. Janis Joplin. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. I tell you that all the time. 1973, the Rolling Stones started a 4-week run at number 1 in the U.S. album chart with Goat's Head Soup. It was the Stones' 4th number 1 album at that time. Oh, 1974, on this day, October the 13th, Mr. Ed Sullivan dies. Credited with hosting dozens and dozens of musical acts over the years and breaking them into fame and fortune, from the Beatles to the Doors, Sullivan's show spanned from June 20th of 1945 to June 6th of 1971. It's pretty good. It appeared every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on CBS TV. The Beatles' appearance on February 4th of 1964 is considered a milestone in American pop culture and the beginning of the British invasion. The broadcast apparently drew an estimated 73 million viewers back in 1964. That's crazy. That's a lot of viewers in 64. I don't know what the average viewing was, but that's a lot. This is kind of gruesome, but Shirley Brickley was shot and killed by an intruder in her home in Philadelphia. She was in the band The Orleans. They had 5 top 20 hits, including the Watusi, which I was like, oh, I've heard that. Don't Hang Up, South Street. They also sang backup for the 1962 hit Mashed Potato Time and the follow-up hit Gravy for My Mashed Potatoes. It was just a weird combination. She was shot, but she did the what to see. It definitely is one of those like girl bands from the 60s. You have to like listen to it. It's like, it's fun. It's, just the fun little band thing. 1979, Michael Jackson went to number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Don't Stop Until You Get Enough. Michael. Bad, Bad, Bad. His second U.S. solo number 1. It only got to number 3 in the UK. Maybe they knew something we didn't. 1979. I'm just horrible. 1979, the band The Police released their second LP, Regatta de Blanc. That's not French, I don't think. Regatta de Blanc? Maybe it's French. And they started a 4-week run at number 1. The album featured the band's 2 number one hits, Message in a Bottle and Walking on the Moon. They said the album production only cost around $8,000, which is kind of a bargain if you think about it in 1979. It's still pretty cheap to produce an album, $8,000 for the amount of, cred they got from it. I'd spend that money and make it back in spades. 1984, Stevie Wonder started a 3-week run at number one in the U.S. charts with I Just Called to Say I Love You. His 7th number one hit, it also went to number one in the UK. I did listen to that. I was like, that's a good song. Stevie Wonder, he definitely had got some chops on him. And some good songwriting there. 1984, U2 scored their second UK number one album, The Unforgettable Fire. The album was produced by Brian Eno of Roxy Music. Eno was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019. The album was produced by Brian Eno. I did say that right. I just completely repeated myself. Of the band Roxy Music, which is inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019. Woo! It featured the single Pride in the Name of Love. I wrote it twice. I wrote the exact same thing twice. That's why I looked at it. I'm like, wait, did I write that twice? I did. I wrote it twice. What exactly was I thinking when I was doing that? I would like to know now, because that's the first time I've made that critical error when I've written something down duplicate. 1990, George Michael went to number one on the U.S. charts. We're Praying for Time. His 6th solo number one, and unfortunately his last solo single ever to top the U.S. charts. Maybe because it was in Wham? I don't know. That was his last solo. Good old Mr. George Michael. We lost George Michael. I forgot that he died. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, yeah, he did. He died in like 16, I think. 1986, Neil Young headlined the first Bridge School benefit concert, a nonprofit school that was providing education for nonverbal and physically disabled children. Young and his wife co-founded the school when their son Ben was born with cerebral palsy. The all-acoustic concert featured Young, along with Bruce Springsteen, Don Henley, Tom Petty, even a revival of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. The event became an annual one, and he's continued to support the charity as well as grow it with multiple artists and more famous people. I found this one to be interesting, to say the least. 2002, the band Muse took legal action against Canadian singer Celine Dion. Apparently, Celine started to announce her tour, and the forthcoming show was in Las Vegas, and the show was going to be called Muse. Well, the band didn't like that one little bit, and lead singer Matt Bellamy pretty much stated that we don't want anyone to be confused that we are Celine Dion's backing band. I mean, I don't know if anyone would be confused that you're Celine Dion's backing band, but I could see that. Celine Dion, Muse. Well, it's all right. I guess you could see that, but No, they're not the backing band for Celine Dion. But I guess they, didn't want that to be confused, so they didn't. Ronald Isley of the Isley Brothers, on this date in 2004, October the 13th, was charged with tax evasion. Basically, the IRS accused the 63-year-old singer of failure to report income tax from royalties and touring from performances from 1997 to 2002. Apparently, they got the goods on him, and they not only charged with him, but they prosecuted him and found him guilty of said tax evasion, and they sent him to prison for 3 years. How are you supposed to give your money back if you're in prison? I always thought you should make you go work or something and pay them. I don't know. This seems odd. Speaking of odd, in 2008, Ringo Starr, in a recorded video posted on his website, announced he will no longer be signing autographs. And he no longer wants to receive any mail. No fan mail, no objects in the mail, nothing for him to sign, and he will not respond to any further correspondence from fans. So please stop sending me stuff, said Ringo Starr. The reason being, apparently he said he will have no more time to do so, as he will now be splitting his residency between Los Angeles, his home in the south of France, and his UK home in Surrey. But please do not send me fan mail anymore. I don't want your fan mail. I'm not going to respond to it. Don't send me objects in the mail. I'm not going to autograph things. Just stop it. Leave me alone. I mean, I guess that would get annoying, but it's just kind of funny that he posted his website to literally have his fans stop sending me fan mail. I'm not going to respond. I'm not sending you back an autographed anything. "2011 Maroon 5, top 10 UK, blah, blah, move like Jagger." Whatever. I didn't care. Just wrote it down. Okay, now this one, I when you get to the end, see if you think the same thing I thought. And then the next one's a good one. 2012, Eric Clapton sold a painting owned by German artist Gerhard Richter. He sold this painting for $34 million. This is the highest paid auction painting ever for a living artist. Clapton was said to be giving the money to Crossroads Center for Drug and Alcohol Rehabilitation Center. It was founded by Clapton, and it's in Antigua. Have you ever looked at the tax laws in Antigua? So I'm just, I'm sorry. I'm just a horrible human, but I'm like, wait a second. So did he just basically take a $34 million painting, sell it, and launder the money back to himself, to Antigua? I'm just, that seems like a lot of damn money to send to a rehab facility. I mean, $34 million in Antigua will buy a lot. But yes, check out the tax havens and stuff for Antigua. I'm just saying. As opposed to Dolly Parton in 2017, who donated $1 million to the Vanderbilt University Children's Research Hospital. Dolly, visiting the hospital, announced the donation as she performed from her children's album, promising that she would make sure that all the money was earmarked for the research of childhood disease. Now, see, here you go. Here's the money. I know exactly where it's going. It's going to Vanderbilt University, and they're going to take care of it. Giving it to my own charity in Antigua, I don't know. And it's not even a charity. I mean, it was a rehab center. So, you sit on the board, and was your board fees $34 million? I don't know. Just saying, just questioning things. That's all I'm doing, just questioning things. Speaking of ridiculous amounts of money, Taylor Swift 2023 Eras Tour, $37 million pre-sale on the first day. By the time it was all said and done, it becomes the largest box office ever for a concert film. $267 million. Okay, Swifties. Buy a lot of stuff Taylor-wise, apparently. I mean, that's some cash. Anyway, born on this day, Lenny Bruce, obscene comedian and activist Lenny Bruce. Also, Paul Simon of Simon & Garfunkel's 84 on this day. Marie Osmond of Donnie and Osmond and the Osmond family, born on this day. Sacha Baron Cohen, 54 today. Where is he? Okay, where is he? With everything going on, where's this new film? We need something. Come on, he's got to do something. I mean, there's got to be something he's working on that we're not aware of, that he's going to, just, I don't know. But there has to be something. Come on, Sacha Baron Cohen. Surprise us. We need a laugh. Just saying. Just need a laugh. All right, I see the timer's ticking down, so look at that. I'm not going to screw it up tonight. Ta-da. Oh, wait. There we go. See? Didn't screw it up. So at least the screen didn't go to black. You still have to watch me reach across and touch the camera, but the screen didn't go to black. And again, this is weird when they do this. Born on this day is Dr. Beverly Crusher from Star Trek. She's born on 23/24, October 13th. I know. It's just so strange they do that. But that's all right. Also born on this day, Sammy Hagar. Van Hagar. I just never was a Van Hagar fan. Sorry, just passed me by. And he was in Van Halen for some time. It was 85 to 96, I think? 11 years he was in Van Halen. Sammy Hagar of Van Hagar. Joey Belladonna of Anthrax, born on this day. As well as Roger Lima from Less Than Jake. The only person that I found historically of any ilk, besides, Ed Sullivan, who died, was Milton Hershey of the Hershey Chocolate Empire. Died on this day, October the 13th, 1945. He died at 88 years old from pneumonia. I know some people that work at Hershey, they say it's horrible. I always try and visit Hershey when I drive, from here to New Jersey if I'm going to stay overnight. Sometimes stay in Hershey. Get some chocolates. I don't know. I haven't been to the park, though, for a long time. Who knows? Damn Pennsylvania, middle of nowhere. So that's that. That's it. It's short tonight. I was, trying my best. I just couldn't get motivated. It was just a weird, long day. Like I said, just my human interactions today with people were just weird. Everybody I interacted with was weird today. It just was. I don't know why. That, Mercury in retrograde or Venus in retrograde or something. I don't know. But yes, all my human interaction today was weird. So, I did meet Joe at the glass place, the plexiglass place. He was very nice. He was a very nice, talkative guy, but super nice. So now I had met him years ago. And I said, yeah, I've been here before. He goes, oh, okay, well, nice to see you, Randy. I said, well, good to see you again, Joe. But he was very, very animated guy. Very helpful, very nice, I'm not going to deny that, but yeah, he told me lots of stories, lots of stuff in the very short amount of time that I spent with him. My interaction was short but meaningful. Very short but meaningful. All right, I'm just going to go. I'm tired. I'm going to go sleep. Or probably go watch, gotta watch the season finale of Task. It was on last night. I didn't watch it. Because tonight's Monday night, and it was on Sunday. I didn't watch it last night. I totally forgot. And then I realized, I was like, oh, wait. The last episode happened last night. So I'll watch that. So enjoy your Tuesday, even though the green garbage cans aren't out tomorrow because of the holiday. I do know it's Tuesday because today was a Monday. And this guy, the guy in the Ferrari. Remember, there's still the guy in the van, though. There's still this guy, okay? So you can still go check out that guy. And I don't know, I'll get the guy into something else soon enough. I'll work on it. Trying try my best. I think if I get this one project that's been taking up the lion's share of my time, when I get it done, I think I'll have a little more free time, which is the building and some of the work projects I've been doing. So, anyway, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you greatly. Have a great rest of your evening. I bid you adieu. I will see you tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th, and we'll do this all again, but completely different, or not at all. The exact same. Ciao. Fade to black.